Happy holidays, Merry Christmas everybody. It's Caitlin from Pared Down, and I'm just going to do a short video on zero waste gift wrap. Last year was the last year that I had any remnants of Christmas paper in the house, and so I was forced to find an alternative. That's how basically we approach the zero waste lifestyle, is that we don't really worry about it until we have to. And when we have to, that's when we find an alternative. So there are still certain things that I don't have answers to, which some people find a bit odd, but it's literally because we were huge Costco people before, and there's certain things that we just haven't had to figure out yet. The list is shrunk to, well, pretty much nothing at this point. But yeah, last year was when we had to deal with the Christmas paper conundrum. So what we actually did was we had a friend of ours make Christmas sacks for the kids. Now the kids each get a Christmas sack for Santa and a Christmas sack for mom and dad, and they have their stocking. So part of the pared down lifestyle or zero waste lifestyle for us is about simplicity. And so we don't buy a whole bunch of gifts. They have, you know, essentially 2 gifts, and outside of extended family, and their stocking, which we may put a small gift or 2 unwrapped in. And so here's one of my son's Christmas sacks. I love this material. It reminds me of like 1970s, 1980s Christmas curtains or sheets, or I don't even know what, but I just love it. And I'm sure as my son gets older and starts to think it's super dorky, as most, you know, kids probably will as they get older, I'm sure I'm gonna love it even more. Anyways, but we made these sacks. I'll show you one for my daughter. There's my daughter, so hers is Cindy Lou Who. And so we made these really durable. We put a drawstring that's made, so they're made of cotton. Drawstring that's made of a natural fiber. I'm pretty sure it's cotton. I'm not 100%, I can't remember, but that was something that we thought of when buying the string. And they're lined, so they're actually reversible. So we use these for Christmas, and we use these for birthdays. So that's my daughter's there. And they're different patterns. So they have 2 bags, and the bags are different on each side. And so that's my son's. I'll just give you an idea. That's another one of my sons. And then the Christmas side is blue snowflakes. There you go. And my daughter has red snowflakes. Hers could actually be Christmassy on both sides, but couldn't really be birthday-ish on both sides. This one is sort of pink, red, and white stripes. And there's a perfect little hole that the string, the drawstring, can be pulled through no matter what side you've got the bag. Now some people say, oh, it's big, but it's not super big. Well, when you're not buying toys that come in big boxes, it makes a huge difference. So we buy 90% of the stuff for our kids secondhand. Sometimes secondhand stuff still comes in the boxes, like Lego, or I found my son some Transformers this year that the guy obviously just, I think he was a collector, just played with them, but he basically was able to get the packaging off, and then he put them back in the packaging and put it back on there. So those are going to fit in there, but if there ever was a box that was too big to fit in the sack, I'm sure we'd wrap it in newspaper, or we would put a note or something in here as the first clue to a scavenger hunt, which is something that I am all for. I think that would be great. So yeah, and these cost us $20 each, approximately. That's including paying our friend to make them. So when you factor in, that's the material, that's the thread, that's the twine and labor. And when you think about, you know, even just gas to go out and get wrapping paper, tape, ribbon, bows, things like that, if you're someone who uses all of those things, and you know how much that's going to cost you over, you know, 10-15 years, these start to look pretty economical. My thing is flashing low battery.
Talk faster. So yeah, we plan to have these last our kids for forever. So yeah, fingers crossed on that one. If we're wrapping presents for our kids that are going to be given to them outside the home, I use newspaper, or gifts for family members or whatnot. We don't really do gifts in either side of our family, except for the children, but So my nieces and nephews, they're going to be getting their gifts wrapped in newspaper. Then we're going to a Christmas party at my husband's work this year, and we're going to be using newspaper. I've wrapped the kids' presents in newspaper. There you go. I've fastened a little ornament from the Christmas tree there, and this one's got ribbon, which they're for my kids, so I'll just grab those and bring them home. If they were for somebody else, I'd make sure that I was okay that the ribbon or the ornament or whatever was going with them. And I use this stuff. This is washi. This is Japanese masking tape, and I use that for gift wrapping. I would not buy this thickness again. It's too skinny. It's not very useful. You can buy it in double, triple, quadruple the thickness. You can buy it in patterns. You can buy it in festive patterns. It's pretty amazing. It's not as sticky as traditional plastic tape, but you know, that's a small sacrifice when you're trying to save the environment. So yeah, and you can, I'll see if I can find some places or some brands that sell it not wrapped in plastic and put that in the description below. I don't remember where I found mine. I got that probably 2 years ago, so I will have to see what I can find for you. There is the Japanese art of gift wrapping in scarves called furoshiki. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I don't do this simply because this is the one scarf we have in our family. It's my daughter's. My mom bought it for at a secondhand shop, and it's in her tickle trunk. And I think this was $5, so I don't know how much silk scarves are, you know, secondhand. I haven't really looked into it, but this one is $5. And I don't want to be going out and spending a bunch of money buying scarves, A, to give that people might not reuse, or to have to ask for them back. I'm a bit of a chicken. I don't think I'd feel comfortable asking for it back. Kudos to people that do feel comfortable doing that. But yeah, if this is something that you'd be interested in, it's a beautiful way to gift someone something, and there's lots of videos on YouTube. Another thing, my aunt actually did this for us last year, was she wrapped gifts in tea towels. Now, her intention was for us to use the tea towels, but I'm going to actually hang on to these to give like teacher gifts to the kids. Teachers, I don't know where they're going to end up, but I'm going to use these to regift. And you can use twine, or you can use ribbon, like the ribbon on my son's gift for the Santa Claus present at my husband's party. Yeah, but you can make those look really pretty, and it's functional. Just make sure that you're buying cotton, muslin, linen tea towels, that you're not buying, you know, tea towels that are made of, I don't know, some sort of fabric that's not, that's synthetic and that you can't compost once it's all gross. So that's another idea. And my aunt actually wrapped a present for the kids last year and fastened it with ribbon again, like the cloth ribbon. This cloth ribbon here. So she wrapped, this is quite big. I can't remember what she put in here. But this is like old material from, I'm not sure what she made. If she made pillowcases, if she's making curtains or what, but material. So if you're a sewer, or you have a sewer in your life, or I'm sure you can even go and find material that, you know, is discounted because it's too small to really do anything with. But that was a great idea, and I'm gonna totally steal this from her. What I think I will do is actually, because kids, being kids, will wake up before you and try and peek in these bags, and so I will wrap the gift in this beforehand, and then place it in here. Something else that I've seen out there, and these were gifted to us, is these sort of reusable gift bags. So not paper bags, but you know, things have sort of changed. Like companies have started marketing these reusable gift bags that are made out of material. Now someone gave these to us with the best intentions, and so I'll probably use these to regift. But I'm not a big fan of these for 2 reasons. One is they're pretty cheaply made, so you're only going to be able to reuse them a few times before they start looking like a dog's breakfast. And the second reason is that they're made of a material that's not compostable. It's a synthetic material that is going to end up in the landfill once it starts to fall apart. So those are my 2 issues with it. They were given to us with great intention, and their heart was in the right place, and so I think it's pretty awesome that they were even thinking that way. But I will probably regift these and hope that somebody will treat them gingerly. And yeah, so if you're out, resist the cuteness and investigate what they're made out of before you go and buy those. So the last thing I wanted to share with you is that we do this every year at the beginning of Christmas, usually, or the holiday season when we put up our Christmas tree. I know some people that do it on Christmas Eve, and it's basically a way to help your kids declutter and to appreciate the giving aspect of Christmas, is that we have our kids go through their toys, and they have to pick a couple toys and a couple books that they no longer play with or that they've outgrown to give to Santa, and Santa fixes them up and regifts them to another child. Now, these gift sacks would be perfect for that for Christmas Eve. I read somewhere that people tell their kids they have to fill the sack with stuff, and in return Santa fills it with new stuff. I choose to do it at the beginning of the season simply because you know, with school or with kids being out of the house the next day, I usually find I've got a little bit more time to get the stuff to, you know, the Family Resource Center or the donation site that I'm going to. without the risk of them seeing it. Over Christmas when they're home, I just feel that the chances are like that they would just find it and then I'd be like, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I think that's a great way to get your kids learning about giving, and my son struggled with it this year. This is the 3rd year that we've done it. He tried to give something really small, but we told him that the caliber of gift that he gets is in correlation to the caliber of gift that he gives. So once he sort of understood that, he's like, oh, and then he got in the spirit a little bit more. So yeah, those are my tips on a zero waste gift giving. The last thing that I wanted to share with you was that if you don't want to buy the washi tape and are not convinced that fastening with ribbon or twine will be sufficient, my mother-in-law, who's an artist and does artwork with the kids all the time, I don't, and we have no art supplies. She made basically the paper mache glue out of flour and water, and the kids made those little rings that are a little piece of paper fastened to each other and then fastened to other rings, and they made these streamers that they put up all over the house this summer, and it dried clear. It's a bit messy to work with and probably a little bit time consuming, but worked wonderfully. So that could be another option. Please comment below with any zero waste Christmas gift ideas or wrap ideas that you have, if there's anything that I've missed. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel below to get alerts for any new videos that we have coming out. And yeah, follow us on Instagram at Pared Down or on our blog at pareddownhome.com. Have yourself a wonderful season. Yeah, spread love, light, warmth, happiness, and fill your bellies with all sorts of deliciousness. Okay, Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.